Hi friends, I am glad you've joined me today. I'm going to show you how to draw some simple sea stuff. First thing I want you to do is just make this nice little swoop across sort of the center of your paper. So it's going to have a low side and a high side. And then we are going to move in to our little fishing boat. So let me get a zoom going here so we can get closer, and I'll show you step by step how we're going to make it. The first thing we'll do is make the curved edges. So let's come down here, and this one's going to be higher, so this one will be a little bit lower. So we've made our edges. Then we'll make this top edge. So we come across and we kind of stop, go up, and then continue over to that edge. So that is the bottom part of our boat. Then we'll add the little indoor part of the boat. So we have two straight lines. This one's taller, so that we can connect them with a slanted line. Then we'll add another slanted line that is parallel, and we connect them. And then we'll add this little, it's like a block T. So we do parallel, and then one across the top, down, down, connect, connect. Next, we'll add our little net, so we can do a very long, skinny rectangle. And then coming off that rectangle here on the side, it's almost like the top of a backwards K. So we're just coming down like that. Then for our little net, we'll do a line halfway down and then go out and out. That's just a triangle. And then we'll come across with our little net. They can be curved or they don't have to be. And then I'm going to go from the tip of that triangle and make some lines downward. And it doesn't matter if you have a different number of lines than me. Whatever fits on your boat. And then here, because we might just have some rope, I'm going to give that a little detail. And we can start adding our boat details. So here, I'm going to make 3 squares. 1, 2, 3. And mine aren't lined up perfectly. They're kind of at an angle. But yours can be lined up or they can be at an angle. And then we're just going to make a little square inside of them. So those are our windows. And then we can put this little hump here with a circle inside. And then the hull of our boat, let's see, we're just gonna follow that and go straight across. Then we can add our little lifesavers here. So we have 2 circles that have circles in the middle. And then we'll do just some little lines. And that's where the ropes would be. And you can give your boat a name if you want to. I didn't name my boat. I'm still thinking. And if we want to put some light little lines in here, like these are the planks of wood that make up the boat, we can do that. I'm not pressing very hard with these because I don't want that to be a dark detail. So that's our boat. Now let's zoom back out and get back at our good angle here. Come on, camera arm. There we go. Next thing I'm going to do is add these little lumps at the bottom. So this is just a series of overlapping little round shapes. And these are rocks, so they don't have to be perfectly round. They can be a little shaky, a little curvy, a little funky. And I'm going to stop right here. We're going to add an arrow. I'm sorry, not an arrow. It has arrows at the edges. An anchor. So for our anchor, the first thing we're going to do is just make a big smile. So there's your big smile. And then from the edges of that smile, we're going to come in a little bit on both sides. But then we're going to jut back down, and that makes that pointy part of the anchor. And then we're going to come back and follow the parallel line almost to the middle, but not all the way. We're going to leave a little bit of space. Then we can go up, and this is a little thinner up here than it is down here, so it gets a little bit wider as it goes toward the bottom there. And then we have two small lines that come out to the side. And then we'll do a round piece at the end of each of those. And then we can come back in to the center, but not touching. And then a couple of lines up. And then we just put a donut on the top. So round circle and one inside, and that is our anchor. Now we can continue drawing a little rock behind this anchor. So I'm just going to pick up my marker whenever I run into that anchor and then continue on. So there's our rocks. And I've put a few different little things. I have some barnacles, a starfish, an anemone, and just a little imaginary shape. We'll come back to that in a moment, but for now, let's add our fish. So our fish is going to start with this, just a big lemon shape. So my fish is very, very round. Your fish doesn't have to be this shape, but this is definitely, my fish was definitely round. And I am a little outside my pencil line there, but I'm going to erase that pencil later, so it's fine. And this fish's tail is kind of like a crescent moon. So it's a big arch, and then we just connect at the back of the fish. And I'm going to make its fins very similar. So it's just a line and a curve. And then it's going to have two down here that are a little bit smaller. All right, there we go, fish. And on each of those fins, I'm going to come and put just some little simple lines coming in from that back edge. And I'll do that on each of them. Just that little back edge there. And now we can add the fish's face. So this is where the face will begin. And I have run over my pencil in a weird way here. So eyeball is a large circle with a smaller circle inside. And let's see, here we go. I'm trying to make this round. And I'm going to leave like a tiny white space in the middle so that my fish looks a little bit friendlier. And then its mouth is going to go like this. So that's my fish's face. And you can put any sort of pattern through here that you want. You can do scales, but I decided my fish is going to have 3 big stripes. And then I might go back later and do some kind of pattern between these stripes, depending on how much energy I have and whether I just want to get to the stage where I add some color to this. So there's my fish, looking pretty happy. I like the fish, and so let's go over to this little plant right here. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to start with this little teardrop shape. That's what all my leaves are going to be shaped like. And they're all going to have a little line in the middle. Let me zoom a little bit. There we go. And then I'll make, we're underwater, so it's going to be kind of a wavy line, and it'll attach right at that rock. And then we'll just make more little leaf shapes. So these all attach at that center, and they have a little line that comes down the middle. So we're just making more things that are shaped like this little pointy leaf shape. And I'll repeat this pattern a few times. Pointy leaf, pointy leaf. Repeat it over here. So just keep making that pattern. And if you have a different leaf shape that you prefer to draw, some people have favorite shapes. That's okay. Yours don't have to be exactly like mine. Anytime your imagination is taking you in a different direction during my tutorials, you can go that direction. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. Part of what's great is that we are both creating, but our pictures might look different at the end. So now that I've put this plant here, I can kind of add my last little rock. There we go. So we've got our fish, our boat, our anchor, our plant. Let's slide over this way a little bit, and we'll start adding some little sea things. Let's start with this starfish. So for my starfish, I just made a circle in the middle. Let's see if I can zoom for you. I bet I can. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I've got my circle in the middle, and then I'm kind of going to put, like, if it had a head, some arms that were sort of up a little bit, they're not straight out to the side, and then some legs, like it's a very happy stick figure person jumping in the air. And now that I have those 5 points, I'll go kind of to the middle, come up and over, around and over, around and over, around and over, and then for my last one, around and over. So now I've got my star shape, and then I'm just going to put some little dots. I'll put some little dots here too. That makes it look like it lives in the sand, I think. So there's our starfish. And barnacles, let's just do circles of different sizes, like some circles that are bigger, some that are little bitty, some that are medium. And then in the biggest ones, I'm going to put another circle inside them. And it's just a little tiny cluster that says, we are barnacles. All right, so here's a bigger circle. They can overlap, they don't have to, they can be touching, or you can just have one that's by itself but nearby. And then in the bigger ones, I'll put a little circle, And there's some barnacles. Now this isn't something, I don't know what this would be in real life, but it's a cute shape. So we're gonna just stick it down here. So let's make some little scallops. And then we'll just keep making some rows of scallops inside. So just a few. It's just a cute little decorative element. And now here's another kind of just an interesting little shape. So it's a circle, maybe more like a rainbow. So it's like 3 lines. And then we'll put some little stripes that are radiating inside this tiny section. So you could also do, we could do some dots here. We could do dot, 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 dot. But we just make it interesting with patterns. So it kind of looks like a little animal or a seashell or something. For this shell, let's start with a V. It's a little bit curved at the bottom. And then we'll have some lines coming that meet at the center and kind of go up in a pattern. So this one's higher and the ones on the side are lower. And then we'll just connect them with little scallops. So now we've got the main part done, and we can start adding these little scallops that come in on the side. So we'll just do things symmetrically. So we added one more, and then you just add these tiny little rectangular pieces at the bottom. And there's our shell. And you can do things like we can make little lines at the top. And these are just very light, wispy little lines. And then you can put some little dots here and there if you want to. So there's our seashell. Now this thing is kind of like a sea anemone. So the first thing we'll do is draw, I would call this maybe a skinny donut. So we have a border, and then we're gonna scallop around the inside. So a border and a little scallop. Now the pieces that you draw around the edge can be very floofy and weird. I'm gonna make them pointed. In pencil I didn't, but I think I'm gonna make them pointed as I go in and pen. I can always change my mind. I can make little creative decisions like that. A lot of the time, the thing that I plan exactly doesn't happen. Maybe you get a better idea while you're drawing. It's your art, so you can do whatever you want. And I can't see these ones at the bottom. They're out of our frame. So I'm just going to be imagining what they might be doing. These are just really fluid, flowy little pieces. So it kind of looks like a sea creature that looks like the sun. Let's move over and we'll add kind of this swirly plant. So I'm going to start with one line that swoops up, and then I'll have a line that meets it. That is leaf number 1. And because I don't want them all to be exactly the same, this one is going to be very swoopy and pointy at the end, but very swoopy there. And then this one's going behind, so I'm going to make it swoopy, but I'm going to pick up when I hit the thing that I've already drawn and add my second line, go. And then we can add some easy little other pointy pieces that are shorter. So that plant is just kind of growing out of that rock. I like it. I'm a fan. Zoom back out and head over here. And we'll add these two other little shapes. You can see they're pretty simple. So this is just another one of those scallops that we put another scallop inside. And then, you know what? Let's do a fun little pattern inside this one. We can make this one stripy. Good times. Stripy little thing just growing out from behind the rocks. Maybe it's a plant. Maybe it's an animal. We don't know. All right. We have one last plant, and this one's really similar to the other one, but we'll make it a little tiny bit different. So just a curvy line. And then these leaves are all going to have that line in the middle of them. So you can add the leaves first or the lines first. I'm going to do the lines first. So the lines all connect to the center. They're kind of curvy. And as I get toward the bottom, they're going to kind of just curve around this way. And now I can add the leaves. So the leaves are that same, kind of just a teardrop, but they come lower. Here, we're connected to the branch and we have a line coming in this way. And you can see how it makes a difference the way you craft the shape of that leaf and where you put the little line. So it's very similar shapes, but we're just putting them together differently. And it makes the leaf feel different. This is one of my favorite little shapes to draw, this little fat leaf shape. I love it. So some of these are overlapping, so I'm just kind of working through that in my mind and making that make sense. So there's that leaf. And this is all that I am going to really add right now. We can always add, let's see, we can always add something on top of the water. We can add a few little bubbles here and there. Just some different shapes. I mean, some different sizes of circles. There's always kind of bubbly, floaty stuff. That's very cute. So we can add different shapes of different sizes of bubbles. You can add more sea creatures, more barnacles, more shells. You can add more fish. Fish are fun because you can put all kinds of patterns in them. We can add some little swirls in our water. Let's see, maybe the fish has some swirls behind it. That's just going to show some motion. I'm going to add some more little bubbles. And then you can even just add some tiny dots. We can add a little texture to the side of our anchor. Kind of show that it's round. that just sort of gets it a little more 3D feeling. You can add any kind of texture to this metal. And let's put our little cross, maybe some tiny dots. You can decorate these things however you'd like. So there's my anchor. I think this rock needs some barnacles, so I'm going to add little barnacles. And let's see, we'll give this rock some barnacles too. So there we go. And what you add at the top is up to you. I like that I just have this little boat at the top, and that's all we see, but there's a lot going on under the surface of the water. So I think I'm just gonna leave mine like this. And there's not a great place for me to sign my name here, is there? Let's see, I'm gonna have to really squish it in, so I'll just go right there. And that is my drawing. So when I go in here, I can add color, or I can leave it very plain. It can be nighttime, it can be daytime, it can be sunset. There's a lot of different ways I could go up here, but then there's all this stuff going on down here, so it's a lot of fun. All right, now I can start erasing my pencil. So what I'm gonna do is start in the place that I started drawing. That way I know that my ink is done. You may have gone straight in pencil and you don't have to erase, but I do. So I'm going to try to remember, I don't want to erase the thing that I just drew because that ink might still be a little bit wet and I don't want to smear it. Let's see if I can get through here without smearing too much. Hopefully I can. Starfish was kind of a long time ago. Oh, our lion was a long time ago. I can erase that. What else? There's still some pencil there. And oh, this is so cute. All right, I think that's it. I love it. It's so cute. I can't wait to paint it. All right, enjoy. And remember that you can go back and add more pattern anywhere you want.